Hi all, I've been asked a question about how in my Ops Buddy I put in the ability to be able to roll um, a random number actually on the spreadsheet rather than actually or on the on the spreadsheet rather than actually using a dice. There's a couple of ways that you can do this, so I'm going to show you how I've done it in my spreadsheet and also an alternative that is a bit simpler but doesn't look quite the same. So um, what we do, okay, so here we've got a blank worksheet that we're going to put in the random number, etc. So the first thing we've got to do is we've actually got to put in the random number generator itself. So picking a cell here, we're just going to put in equals rand, and the one we're going to use is rand between. So now it's going to look for the lowest, so we can put 1 and 20 because that's what I'm using on my, but obviously you can put whatever numbers you on there. You could actually use this multiple times if you wanted to, different dice rolls for different things. You could set up more than one cell and actually um, do it that way. So we could have one that's going to do that, and we could have another cell that's going to equal rand between and 1 and 5. Okay, so now we've got two cells on there. Now you notice when I change a cell, this updates every time. So every time a calculation it would do it. The problem is normally when we're doing it, there are no calculations. Now you could lose it this simple, and you could use F9, which is what I'm doing now, to carry out and tell it to recalculate. So that's basically what it's saying. It's telling it to recalculate the sheet, so it's doing a random number each time. However, on mine, what I've done is I've got a button, mainly because I think it's nicer to click a button on there that actually tells, especially for somebody perhaps who doesn't know the ins and outs of Excel. They can see that if you've got a button that says roll, that's what you click to get it to do something. So that's what we're going to do next, is just add a button. Okay, so what we're going to do is the first thing we've got to do is create a macro that'll do the rolling for us. So if we look up here, we're looking for a tab that says developer, and there isn't one. Default is the developer tab is not there. So if we go to file and options down at the bottom, customize ribbon, down there, and down here you'll see it says developer. So we put a tick in there, click OK, and we've now got developer. So we're going to click on the developer tab and we're going to create a macro, and this macro we're going to call reroll, just to give it a name, and we're going to create that. You'll then get this come up, which is the code that this macros are going to run. So tab it in, and what we're going to do is we're going to do an active sheet calculate. So this is what we actually want to do. So what we're going to say is when this macro is run, and we'll see how we run it in a minute, we want the active sheet, that's the one we're on at the moment, to do a calculation on there. So now we can shut that down, and if we go to macros now, we've actually got this reroll macro. So the next thing we want to do is we want to create a button that is actually going to have this on. So again, on our developer tab, we're up the top and it says insert. So we're going to insert, and we're just going to insert a button. So we just click on there, and once we've done that, we can just drag the button out, and it'll ask us straight away what macro do we want to assign to this button, because that's the whole purpose of this. When you click the button, it will then run the macro that's associated with the button. And there's our reroll. So we click on that. You could edit it to what you like, but this is the one we're using, reroll. We click on OK, and now that button is associated with that macro. The other thing we want to do is we want to change the text. So I go to edit text, get rid of where it says button run, and I just put in roll. And again, you can do lots of formatting like I did to change the colors, etc., etc. So now we can click off there. This is our button. And then hopefully every time I click on it, it will recalculate the sheet, which in this case means just do the two random betweens again. And that's what there is to it. So that's, I think, a more pleasing method, more obvious method if you've got somebody who doesn't understand Excel on that. Whereas F9 is the simpler one if you can remember it, etc. Hope that helps.